to the countdown music? Because I be jamming to the countdown music backstage, like da da da. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Hey, happy Wednesday. It's Black History Month, and we are your queens. My name is Ekiwa Asamota, also known as Eki's Famous, and I am the creative director of an amazing, magical, theatrical, fantastic, educational company called Your Queens. And what we do is we teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. That means we dress up like queens, Makeda, Isis, Nefertiti, and Zinga, King Solomon. And we've been around for 6 years teaching storytelling, song, and dance. You can book us. Yes, you can book us for birthday parties, daycare centers, school presentation, festival, weddings, all things 1-year-old birthday parties, 10-year-old birthday party, 50-year-old. We do a lot. And we've been really busy during COVID. I don't want to call it that. During this pandemic time while we're home on the Zoom. So you can book us virtually. We get it lit. We have a good time for children and adults. It's such a magical time. But guess what? I'm here for season 2 of Behind the Crown Talk series. This is our second episode of season 2, second episode of 7 to come. The next one after that is March 3rd at 6 p.m. And today we're bringing back the topic Black love and self-love. So y'all, this is what I need for you guys to do for me. Share this out. Share this out. Share this out with your family and friends. Press the share button. Tell them y'all don't want to miss this conversation. I got some amazing special guests. One of my guests, we're bringing her back, my boo Nefertiti Warren. And then I got my brother, my same mama, same daddy brother on here. Yes, I know y'all can't wait to hear this. And I have my beautiful queens. Look at y'all on the panel. So I'm going to stop talking because I could go. Right? Somebody told me the other day I could talk. I didn't realize that, but I'm going to talk. And I'm going to let it go to my girl, Aisha, to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aisha. I play Queen Makeda as part of Your Queens. In addition to that, I serve as the marketing partnerships director, where I get to help work on collaborations for Your Queens. And yeah. Here I am. I'm excited to talk about Black love and self-love, and I have so many insights and lessons to share. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. Next up, I got my girl, Angie, and I like to call her Anjane. Take it over, baby girl.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anjane, aka Angie. That's what everybody calls me. And I play Queen Cleopatra in Your Queens. I am everything social for Your Queens. So follow us on Instagram at Your Queens Incorporated, Facebook Your Queens Incorporated. And I'm here to talk about Black love and what it's done for me in my life and my romantic relationship that I've been in for 11 years. So.
Woo! Blessings. So always an honor to have you. And you look fabulous. Those braids, I'm here for it. Next up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, we have one of my greatest, a dear friend of mine, but we started working together since she was 16 years old. Now she is 29. Did I get that right? 29 is my girl, Mickey, coming all the way from Mississippi. Hey, girl.
Hello. So hi everyone. Like Miss Eki said, my name is McQuavon Mills. I have known Miss Eki since I was a teenager. She was my dance teacher. And we just been rocking out ever since. I'm very happy to be here and spreading my knowledge and wealth on Black love. Thank you.
Absolutely. So good to see you. Next up, another long friend of mine. She's a sister queen of mine. We've worked together on many different levels, laughed together, cried together. It's been a long journey since 2007. I want to say we've actually even traveled to Nigeria together to do missionary work. And we just recently worked on a project. Now, this is my homegirl. We talk to each other on a consistent basis. I love her dearly. She was on season 1. I had to bring her back for season 2. Nefertiti Warren, take it away.
Ah, thank you so much. Wow, I love you. Yeah, I'm so excited to be back. I'm thankful to be back. It's always a blessing when I'm in your company and the company of your queens. I love everything that you guys do, and I'm just honored to be sitting amongst greatness, virtually speaking.
Blessings. And last up, I wish I had a drum roll because I'm so excited. I got my wonderful, amazing baby brother, but big brother, right here, almost like my twin, my heart. I love you so much. We got Golden in the building. Let him know.
Hey,
Let him know.
what up? What up? Wait, how y'all doing? My name is Osai. Osai Mede. What up, sis? I love you.
Love you too. Good to have you. Listen, we're going to jump right in. We are talking Black love and we are talking self love. So I want to jump right in. And also, disclaimer, I'm not saying anything about any other love. Love is beautiful because in my mind, also, when I think about Black love, think about even loving yourself. That's why we add in on the self love. And we all have experience to been on long distance relationship, a long relationship, short relationship. We've learned through the experiences. Some of my queens on here have been in relationships for a long time. So I definitely want to have their input. And some of us who are single or dating, we have our own experiences and thoughts about that. And the reason why we're doing this is celebrating who we are. So my first question, and I'm going to take this to, I'm going to give it to my girl Angie on the first question. You ready? Do you think Black love is important? And second part, why or why not?
Ah, do I think love is important ultimately because I think love is something. It's a God's given gift. We were born to give love to each other, whether it be a friend, me loving my friend or me loving my partner. Love is something that is an innate ability. Like when we are born, we are always shown love. When we're children, we are always shown love. And that love manifests in different ways. But as you get older, you understand there are different types of love. So, do I think Black love is important? Absolutely. I think the fact that two people can come together and different, create life, because I feel like Black love, to me, Black love equals life. Because when you are in love with your spouse or in love with someone, whoever they will be, that love is reciprocated into you now being able to foster that love into your offspring. So I really believe in Black love, and I hope everyone out there is someone out there is very much so in tune with their Black love.
That was beautiful. I felt that. And even when you said Black love equals life, and that can mean so many different things. Thank you for sharing, Angie. Next up, Neffy. Do you think Black love is important? Why or why not?
I do, absolutely 100% because I'm Black. So Black love is definitely important. I do agree with Angie that, all love is beautiful, especially when it's genuine, healthy love. Love, it looks good no matter what, as long as it's healthy, right? But Black love particularly is important as a Black person because it's just a matter of representation, and the more you see something, the more normal it becomes. So when you see Black love, a mother and a father together, or a man and a woman together, in this loving union as two Black people, it's refreshing to see, and it's also a beautiful reminder that there is Black love out there, especially because life can get hard, and there are certain stereotypes and there are certain statistics. So when you don't necessarily see a Black man and a Black woman loving each other on a regular basis, um, you definitely, it's not in the forefront of your mind as much, you know what I mean? And so it can create a space in your mind of thinking like it almost doesn't exist, in a sense. So it's so important because it does exist. and we need to see more images of it existing in a healthy way for the next generation and the generations after that, and so on and so forth. Because Black love is absolutely beautiful. You know, it's not a single parent household all the time. You know, like it's beautiful. So it's important.
Yeah. I felt that. Kalia's on here saying amen, Nefertiti. Yes, that's one of our sister queens as well. I'm going to have her on here really soon. My friend from high school, I believe love and knowing unconditional love is what we are here in this universe to ultimately experience, the human experience. Mel, you already know we connected. Totally, wholeheartedly agree. Shannon, we love you. We'll see you soon, boo. Thank you for being on here. Something that you said, Neffy, is when you see Black love, it's beautiful, it's refreshing, and listening to your words, it's sometimes that words are so powerful. I always say words are so powerful. So what we put out there, so by you saying that, and the prayer or the reflection of this live is to say whoever's listening to this, y'all heard my accent about to come in, whoever's listening to this will feel confident and feel supported and feel like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And then we can go into so many layers of generational things and healing and all that, but I want to focus on Black love. And do you think it's important? And it takes work. We know that, right? It takes work, consistency, prayer, patience, all of that. So I'm going to have all of that up next. Mickey, can you jump on this? Then I'm going to have Golden go and then Queen Aisha go. Do you think Black love is important?
Yes.
Why or why not?
I definitely think that love is important. And as far as Black love goes, yes, it's very important. I came from Black love and I was created in Black love. So I'm always going to believe that Black love is important. And I would definitely say that when you are in an environment that shows you how you should be loved or how it should be for someone else to love you, then that sets the standard as to what you will or will not accept. So, yes, Black love is very important.
Y'all heard that? Can you say that last part again about standards? Say that again.
I would say that when you are surrounded based off of your environment of Black love, it shows you the standards as to what you will or will not accept. So it sets the standards and the tone for when you become older and what you inspire to have with your significant other.
I love that. Because sometimes we may repeat. And again, when I speak about anything that from our family or anything that we've experienced, shout out to my parents. I got it wrong last time. They've been married for, she's going to correct me, 43 years. Golden, you can correct me on that. 42 years. 42 years. 42 years. And let's clap it up for that, for my king and queen to be married for 42 years. Like, honestly, my father's Nigerian, my mother's Dominican. We grew up in Nigeria, and that's I have a whole. I'm all over the place. And she was born in the Dominican Republic. Met her husband here at Baruch College in New York City. I'm telling all your business, mommy and daddy. And then they met at Baruch College, and their love story. You know how I know that's true? Because they literally kiss every day. That my mom talks to me and goes, "Yes, my husband," and I'm like, "Daddy." She talks to him like, yeah, I just spoke to my husband. I'm like, you mean daddy? Which I think is so cute. And they still hold hands. And because of COVID, they would go out every weekend. They sit on the couch. I know that. So Black love, when you find that right love and you work with each other through whatever it is so, so possible. Golden, you're up next. Let's go.
Hey, first of all, I ain't get a chance to say what's up to all the ladies and all the queens in the building. Thank y'all. It's just an honor to be amongst y'all. I'm such a huge fan of your queens. Black love. Woo! Where do I even begin? Black love. Black love. I think Black love is everything. I mean, personally, I'll try to keep it short, but personally, I think the Black woman is the closest thing there is to God. You feel me? And I think there's a reason why it's called strong Black woman. You know what I mean? Or why the Black woman may have, like been through so much in history. I feel like there's a reason for that. There's a term like excellence. If you look at everything from sports to music to you name it, inventions, Black History Month, that's this Black excellence. You know what I mean, I just feel like we epitomize that in every shape, form, from entertainment to anything, from culture. Pop music right now is hip hop. Just everything is stems from that seed, and that's why I love what Your Queens does, because it educates the young princesses and the young princes, what they don't may not be told in school. They try to feed us.
I think you're breaking up a little bit, but we were able to get all that golden nuggets you shared. Can you come back in? It's freezing up a little bit. But man, what you shared right away is, you said the Black woman is, I've heard the saying, we feel it, we know it because of what we've experienced, is the closest thing to God. And to hear you say that, platform to honor Black, you can even look at the word ended by hearing the word strong woman. Sometimes I love it. I don't look at it as a negative. You know what I mean? I don't see it as I think it's a powerful thing. So thank you for sharing. Okay, you're back in. We can hear you.
Yeah. I don't know what happened with
Go
the
ahead.
Wi-Fi or whatever.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think I just wanted to finish off by saying, like, even the term power couple. I think the term power couple, me, unless correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Jay and Beyonce, like, were that, like, that when the term, when you think about Barack, and also Black love amongst our brothers and sisters, to love each other more once you get educated about who you are inside is businesses and whatnot. So Black love is highly important.
I love that. You said even once we get ourselves together and loving on each other, not so much relationship, but it could be, with family. See how we rock out. We literally talk about everything, and we give each other space. He said, preach, Golden. Yeah. We're dropping some real nuggets. And a lot of things I took out of that, working on yourself to be able to experience the joy. There's some pain in it, but it's, you do it together. We're doing it together with your family, with your tribe, with whoever you're in a relationship with, is doing it together. Queen.
Here we go. Hi. So when I think about Black love, I think about it in so many dimensions. A lot of what you all were saying previously. But I like to think about Black love as like part of like honoring myself. Like when I love someone that is Black, whether that be my partnership, my family, the friendships, the people that I keep in my circle, I think about how do I'm honoring myself by participating in those various relationships. I like to think of Black love as being expansive, and that like loving Black people is part of our solidarity. It's part of our survival together in this world. And I think that it's so pure and beautiful, and it doesn't have to be romantic necessarily. Black love is like, for me, like when I go, when a woman, actually this happened yesterday. I love to ride my bike, and I was, getting into the elevator, and this older woman in my building who's Caribbean, opened the door for me, and just like her energy and love was just so beautiful. And she was just like, oh, I'm gonna help you with your bike. And like, she didn't really need to. And I also was like, didn't want her to, because she was older. I was like, it's okay. But just like the pure love and exchange, and that there's nothing that she required of me. It's just that she wanted to share her love with her kindness with a stranger. And I felt like there was nothing as pure as that. So I think of Black love as, again, like part of how I connect with my fellow Black people. And I don't know. I just think that I want us to have more conversation about Black love that's not necessarily romantic always. I think that is something that we need to talk about, because especially when we think about people on the margins in our community, queer people, LGBTQ people, people who are, have disabilities or mental health concerns. I feel like there's not a lot of kind love and care that I think we're still learning about how to support everybody, how to support others. But I think that there's a lot more grace we can practice as a community for people within the margins. And I think that is part of Black love, or I would like to think that is part of Black love.
I love that, Aisha. Can you guys hear me well? Am I breaking? Can you
No.
hear me well? Okay, good. It was breaking up. I missed some of the story, but I believe you said there was a young lady that was you went somewhere yesterday and she was just expressing love to people.
She was, sorry, I was also convoluted with how I told the story. But basically an older woman in my building, she just helped me open the elevator for me and help me get my bike into the elevator because I live on the second floor. And it was just the way that she, her energy was so beautiful and just so nice. And I didn't want her to help because I'm just you're older, elderly. I don't want you to I don't want to accidentally knock you over with my bike or anything like that. But she was just so sweet and just was talking about herself, I used to get physical when I was, young or whatever. But, I just feel her energy was so beautiful. And I feel like other people could have given me the same energy. But there's a difference when it comes from especially an older Black woman. There was a meme that I saw that was whenever an older Black woman calls me baby, it's just so yeah, that was the story. It's just a beautiful older woman who's just helped me out and just sharing her love with me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I love to experience those, and we need more of that very transparent type of love of just helping each other. Osa said Black love starts with self-love. And even something else you said, Aisha, love is connecting to Black people. It's connecting to each other. Well said. For those of you guys who are tuning in, we are your queens. What we do is we teach about African royalty, storytelling, song, and dance. We are here for season 2 of Behind the Talk series during Black History Month, Women's History Month. We had our season 1, now we're doing season 2. We're talking Black love. And people are commenting as well. The question is, do you think Black love is important? Why or why not? And we all agree Black love is extremely important for who we are, for our generation to come. And then we're looking hopefully to do a season 3. So let's go. Let's get into this conversation. Y'all, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I didn't set y'all up on this second question. I'm putting it on Aisha. She kind of said something, and I'm like, ooh. So everyone don't have to answer it, but feel free to do it. I will say, what are some 2-part questions? How do I say? What are some from your experience, some obstacles pertaining to Black love, and how were you able to overcome it? And you can personal experience or an example as well. So what do you feel are some obstacles in Black love, and how are you able to overcome it? Who would like to take on that? Go ahead, Mickey.
I gave the teacher finger, I'm sorry. So I would say that one obstacle has to deal with communication and effective communication, especially when you are trying to talk to someone instead of at them. I know growing up, it was easier to just talk at someone and give them directions instead of just trying to get them to understand where you're coming from. So that is one obstacle I feel that sometimes does hinder Black love, especially if you're not receptive to trying to hear what that other person is trying to say. And also their approach to how they speak to you as well makes all the difference.
Communication. That I see you, nephew. You're gonna take it next. That's so true. And sometimes we fall short on that. But here's the thing about if you find yourself going back and forth, and again, this doesn't have to be. It could be any type of relationship. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, "Oh, my bad. I'm sorry." Right? Sometimes I forget that. My mom she just closed her daycare, but even when I was working with the daycare kids, the 2-year-olds had a hard time saying sorry at 2. Isn't that interesting? So where does that come from? Where are they learning those things from, right? Go ahead, Neffy. Thank y'all for jumping in on this thrown in question.
Yeah, thanks for asking it, man. Yeah, I was going to say that an obstacle for Black love, again, maybe because I'm a mom, so I'm thinking of like the parent angle, but the example that you have of Black love to see when you're a child, that plays a huge part, and it plays a major part, and it can be an obstacle because, again, if you're coming from a household where healthy Black love isn't shown, then that's an obstacle from jump. That's a foundational obstacle that is deeply rooted, because our upbringing and our foundation have such a huge impact on who we are and how we are in relationships. So if we don't even see healthy Black love as children, then it's going to create so many ripple effects as adults and create these obstacles that we don't even know where they come from, then that's where mental health really would come into play, into helping us unpack and get back to the root of things, of where things come from. Just like you had the example of communication, that could have stemmed from not seeing healthy communication with your parents. And now you're in a relationship as an adult and you don't know how to talk to your significant other, and you have that obstacle, but you think it's just you guys, but you got to take it back to the foundation. So that's certainly an obstacle as well, just having a healthy example of Black love to even begin with. I have so many friends and people that I know who might not have a healthy relationship that they can pull from as an example, and it shows when you're older and you're now in committed relationships and things and going through your struggles. It definitely shows.
Yeah, nephew went right in on that one and talked about healthy Black love, and I'm happy you brought that up because, again, when with your queens and when we share things, that something may be hard to talk about or not. It's not hard because we talk about it, and there's no family that was a cookie cutter. Cookie cutter. There was always something. So how do we move from that? A lot of times when we get older, we adapt what we've learned, whether good or challenging. So it's sometimes maybe sometimes we're not even aware that we're carrying these things. So that's why we're having these conversations now. So y'all, family and friends, share this out with your family and friends. This is real conversation about healthy Black love. And if you see yourself having challenges over and over, whether it's business, love and relationship, friends, look at yourself. There's nothing wrong with really taking an inventory like, what did I experience? How is this? And again, no one's right or wrong. It's just, okay, I saw it this way, but maybe this person does different this way. For example, somebody may put mayonnaise, that's a bad example, but may put mayonnaise in the fridge. Somebody may put it on the counter, and you're looking at them like, you put mayonnaise in the fridge? Like, so it's understanding those things instead of saying like, oh, you bad. Like, I don't do those things. You do these things, but come into that meeting. Oh, wow, this is how. So now let's create our own healthy Black love. And that we can go into therapy, takes a healing, and just take you to be honest with yourself about that and not put it on a partner. And especially as we get older, and especially as we're getting wiser now in this world that we live in, we feel that shift. We're in that shift. We're either gonna make it or you know what I mean? I really truly believe that. So we want to make it. I want everyone on this live and people watching to be successful in every single thing that they do. Would any of you guys want to jump in on that question?
Yeah, I mean.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we were going around. I mean, but can you hear me?
It's breaking up. I'm gonna
All right.
It's probably breaking up because why don't you come over here? You may have to come sit next to me.
Hear me now? No.
Yeah, it's breaking up. You may have to come
Wait,
over here.
wait. So y'all was sitting in the same room, house at the same time, and instead of just doing this side by side, you're trying to go separate ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Hey, yeah. I'm gonna log in through my phone, but all right, right back.
No problem. Aisha or Angie, do you want to jump in on that? Go ahead, Aisha.
I just want to co-sign everything that Fertiti said because I was just like, yes, yes, yes. Like seeing an example is such a huge part, and I know like that's part of my story and my what I'm hoping will not be the legacy though of trying to like what did you witness in terms of love? Like there are a lot of beautiful things and there are a lot of things that you're just like that cannot be me, and I think a lot of it is like for me, I struggle with self-awareness. Like that is something I'm trying to like get better at. Listen to my partner, listen to people around me who are saying things, and like not be quick to like cast it out and be defensive about it, but like to really try to hear what people are saying before I like make decisions about what they're saying, like before I like make judgments about what they're saying. That is like part of my story, like for sure. Just like thinking about how what I witnessed and like how I've moved, in the world, maybe even as a defense mechanism to avoid, seeing or repeating behavior that I saw in, for example, like parents or something like that. I know for me, something that is a continuous process for me is like being kind of like very stern in my approach to like being in the world, because I think I'm so used to seeing women, especially Black women, being taken advantage of. And so, I'm hyper vigilant about that kind of stuff to a point where I'm just like ready, always ready. If someone is, trying to, give me feedback, that's not a woman typically. Like I might be like a little bit like, I don't know. Or, trying to be more receptive to people who I might, already have judgment about how they're going to receive me. So I know for me, like having that vision is true, but I think a lot of it is also our representation. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of good examples of Black love that's not struggle love. And what I mean by struggle love is like, it's like the people put up with a lot of garbage before they got shined and into a perfect diamond. And I'm tired of that. Like even with, I know we bring up Beyonce, but there's definitely a little bit of struggle love in that narrative too. And so I want to see love that's, has its challenges, because that's real. But I don't want to see people getting their stuff together, after dogging somebody out for 20 years. Like I'm not here for that either. So I think for me, I would love to see beautiful representations, diverse representations of Black love that is pure and true and, authentic. But does not come with, so many caveats, so many conditions.
Yeah, many caveats, so many conditions. Yeah, you I have nothing to say. You said it. I 100% agree. Oh, everything, that whole part. Golden.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can hear me? We back in good terms. Black love. Yeah, the obstacles. I think just like my older sister may have commented a couple of minutes ago, I think it starts with self-love as well. Being keen to knowing again who you are internally. I think some of the obstacles we face as a community, as far as like, I mean, let's take for examples in the streets, we gangs and whatnot. I think it's again education of who you are, where you come from, and being adamant on switching the narrative. There's a lot going on right now with social injustices, and I do truly feel like an awakening is happening amongst our people as well. When it comes to relationships, I mean, I think just like any relationship, you're gonna have your obstacles. I think communication is definitely key. To bettering that in any effect. I think also again knowing who you are when you come into a relationship. You got to kind of sacrifice certain things when you meet someone that you want to maybe potentially spend the rest of your life with. You're dealing with a whole different personality, a whole different upbringing. Different astrological sign, whatever it is. It's just a whole different being. So if you love them unconditionally, you won't do things that will hurt them. I mean, I think that's what love truly is. I think God is love, and it's just one of those things that if you mature enough for it, you can get through anything, no matter what the obstacles. Um, and as far as like black love obstacles in life, like I think one of the sisters says, I think it was Aisha. Aisha just mentioned that you may have obstacles, struggle love, like struggle, and that might be something that we may have been taught, excuse me, throughout the years. But I feel like once we realize who we really are and how powerful we really are, and start mobilizing as a community, or as a strong couple, great things can happen. Powerful things can happen. Excellent things can
Powerful
happen.
things. Yeah. Sharice is like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, everything you said was very authentic and very honest. You said an awakening is happening for sure. So we have to be aware of that. And God is love. But adding to what you're saying, it made me think about, you guys know I love The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Don't take anything personal. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word and do not make an assumption. Because the thing is that the only person you can work on is yourself. Only person you can change is yourself. So that takes away any stress when you have a partner and they're not changing. Let's say pray for them, or you work through that. You know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason, or you don't settle and you move on and you just trust the process, right? That's a big, big thing. But at the end of the day, there's an awakening happening. You got to be aware of who you are. And also we make mistakes. It's nothing. Sometimes we like I was saying with the hard thing of saying sorry, or we make mistake and we think like, oh my God, no, it's okay. Say sorry. Oh my bad. I messed up. Laugh it off. Other day I had a conversation with one of my queens, and then we had a little bit of a challenge, and we literally had dance breaks in between our challenge. We were like, all right, we're gonna dance now because this is a little frustrating, but we're gonna dance it out instead of, and at the end we celebrated. It was like, oh, we got through that. So that's part of God love. That's part of Black love. Angie, did you want to add anything?
Oh, there you go. I mean, I think everybody on the panel said it the best. I mean, communication is key, and I think it was Aisha who was talking about like being your authentic self in your relationship and being able to express that and listen to feedback from others. The only thing I want to add to what she said about that is sometimes we have to understand our energies, and sometimes our energies are more powerful than other people's energies. And before you even get into a room, someone can have a pre-existing connotation about you because of what they feel, not about what they actually know. So when you walk into a room or something, someone can automatically give you feedback because they're automatically threatened by you without you even opening your mouth. For me personally, that has happened to me so much because I have a very demanding aura. I mean, people have told me that throughout my years of my career and all of that stuff in terms of how I walk into a room. But that's not because I think my shit don't stink. I think it's because I know what I'm talking about as a Black woman. I feel like I went to school, I've gotten the education, and I understand my value to where I can come into a room and I can walk in and I know that when I sit at the table that I am going to bring what I need to bring to the table so that we're able to see the product. And I think that that can be reciprocated at sometimes as people having this tone or this attitude, like they said that Miss Obama had when she was during the Obama presidency, about her being the angry Black woman instead of understanding that that woman came into, being who she is by demanding and being able to showcase her skills of who she was rather than who people thought she was. So I just wanted to add the little caveat.
Thank you, Angie. A takeaway from that was talking about energies and being mindful of that, the energy, or stepping in that room with your positive energy, no matter what, and owning it. This is a perfect time to go into the next question. I have two more questions. And again, if you're tuning in, welcome. We are your queens. We are giving you real authentic conversations right here. Have my queens on here. I have my brother Golden, my queen sister Nefertiti. I appreciate y'all. Great conversation going. If you're just joining, we are your queens. We teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. Season 2, we're talking Black love, self-love, and we already went in. It's 6:40, got 20 minutes left. 2 more questions. I know I had to throw in that question, but I felt it was necessary within the conversation, right? So our next question, and definitely feel free to comment. I will read all these comments later on if we don't get through everything now. We appreciate all the input because we're all growing and learning from this. We're all growing and learning from this. Next question is, why is self-love importante? Self-love importante. I saw Queen B do a little shimmy, so I'm going to have her go. I'm going to have you go first. Why is self-love important?
You know I'm always shimmying out here with you.
100%.
Self-love, right? Self-love, man, it's important because you have yourself. You know what I mean? Like aside from partnerships and relationships, you have to deal with yourself. You have to learn to like yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. You have to appreciate yourself. I feel like, you know, maybe I'll just speak for myself, that sometimes you can get so used to, because you don't like see yourself unless you're looking in a mirror, right? You can get so used to just relationships and the other person and the people you see with your eyes in front of you and not yourself, that I know for me, I'm always thinking of the person in front of me. Right. And it isn't until you pass by a mirror, and for me in my lifestyle, that it's like, oh, hey, you need some attention and love too, you know? And so then therefore, when you start to recognize this and become more aware of this and the importance of this, you can be better. You know, you've all heard that, you know, when you work on yourself first, then you're able to be better for other people. But aside from just doing it to be better for other people, you should do it for yourself. And it's important because you enjoy life more that way. It's important because it gives you just energy on a moment to moment, day-to-day basis. When you give love to yourself, you know, life can be hard. So just as you would love on a friend or a spouse that you care about when they're going through tough times, allow yourself that same love to get through the day as well. You know, rough days, regular days, good days, you know, cheer yourself on. You know, build yourself up as well, because it's important that you do that for yourself, because then if you have a good standard for self-love and a good barometer to how you're treating yourself, then it's easier to have healthy relationships with other people, because you already pour into yourself so well and love on yourself so good, that other people who are treating you in that same level or better is what you're going to accept. You know, if people try to treat you anything less than self-love, you know, then the love that you give to yourself, you'll be like, what is going on here? No thanks. So Aisha cracking up.
No thanks. No thanks.
But real quick, I have to shout out Aisha, because that whole struggle of, I was with you. I was like, you are so right. I'm tired of the struggle.
Yeah, you had to put that out there. I'm so happy
Right,
you did, because
Andy?
everyone can
Yeah.
relate. Every single one can understand and go. We could. That's gonna be for season 3. We could go into that another time, and also we'll have some great stories. Right away, what you would say, when I was younger, and the word sometimes can have a taboo on it, like it's a bad thing, but there's nothing wrong with being selfish at times. Or so like when I learned when I was younger, and you get on the not the pilot, the stewardess come in and tell you about putting on a mask first, and then the kids, you're like, I want to save my kids, but no, there's no way you can save your kids if you don't save yourself first. So that different levels and connecting with self-love. Aisha, would you like to go next?
Sure. I mean, everything Nefertiti said as well. Um, and I think, absolutely the last part you said is like when you love yourself, you're not gonna accept scraps. Like, who are you? You're not a peasant. You are a royal, you know? Um, so, I was just reflecting a lot on my journey when Nefertiti was speaking about the choices I've made and partnerships and energy that I want around me when I was younger versus now is totally transformed because of the self-love that I've developed for myself 100%. And like I and it's not, again, like not even just romantic, it's just like all types of love or all types of energies that I've allowed to be in my presence. When you know what you deserve, and that's part of that self-love, you're not going to accept things that are subpar. You're not going to accept, people who are offering nothing but want everything from you. You wouldn't. Why? It's all within you. So I find all of that to be super, like, just want to co-sign and affirm all of that. You want to be able to if you pour into somebody else, I think, get back into all these metaphors because I love them. I love all the self-love metaphors. The mask is a good one. But I think about like pouring from a cup. It's like if your cup is full, like it's not going to take, or even if your cup is overflowing with abundance and love, right? To pour into somebody else is not going to take too much out of you. It's like, all right, here, you can have a little something. I'm gonna love on you. Here you go. But if it's not full, you're gonna run on empty. It's gonna take a lot out of you. And so I feel like, oh, someone said this exactly. Yeah, self-love is very important because you cannot give what you don't have. So exactly that. I think that for me, self-love is like a foundation. That being said, there's one expression that I actually really hate. I know we say it a lot, but like I hate the expression like, if you don't love yourself, how can somebody else love you? Because I think that's doesn't acknowledge that self-love is a process. It's a goal, but it's also an ongoing process. So I just want to like emphasize that because I feel like no one truly arrives at it. Like we are all like continuing to work and grow and heal as individuals. And I think even people who don't have self-love are still deserving of love and kindness and abundance. And hopefully we can push them and to get to that point for themselves too. So I just wanted to clarify because that's one expression that I'm like, because there are times in my life where I didn't necessarily have the self-love for myself. And, it didn't mean that I wasn't deserving of it. It just meant that I knew I needed work to do. I had work to do. And so I hope that we can continue to have conversations of how we can uplift each other and in attaining self-love and, being able to better love other people around us.
All of it. She said, "You are not a peasant." Real talk. But even I can go on, but no, I'll time in. Self-love is a process. I hope that provides like healing for some people because there's no quick like, all right, I'm healed right now. No, it's a process. You may be doing it all your life, but it's a journey, right? You'll get to a point, you'll realize and come back, oh, I did it again. Or you're going to get to that journey for years. Oh, I did it again. And just trusting that whole process of knowing who you are. I love it. Golden, what's good? Can you hear me? I want you to go next on self-love. Why is self-love important? I think you are frozen, but you already know what to do. So I'm going to have Angie. Can you jump on next?
Of course I can. Aisha said it the best for me though. She gave me all the gems and dropped all the gems, and I agree with you. I really hate that expression because, of course, self-love is a process. Like you're not born to love yourself. When you don't even know what love is until someone shows you love as a child. So that behavior is something that's taught. So as you get older, that self-love transforms into different things. And transforms, and you continue to learn how to love yourself. But as a period, as we all know, when we get when we're a teenager, going from a teenager to an adult, or going from a preteen to a teenager, where that self-love is shaken. Like, we have that moment where we have the doubts. We see what the public image is, we see what people are telling us where we should be, and we doubt ourselves and we doubt who we are. But then, again, it's trusting the process, reeling ourselves back in, and learning how to move in the waters from what people are saying, and just trust the fact that we are who we are, and your ability to perform and be who you are is something that comes from within inside you, and you decide who you want to be, not what people want you to be.
You are who you are. You said just as well as a Cancer woman. Let the water flow. I love it. Golden, can you hear us? Yep, unmute yourself, love.
Oh, can you hear me? Cool, cool. I believe is everything. Once you start to grow older, and you have your aspirations and your goals, or even just trying to get new friends. Not new friends, but even if just trying to. I mean, as people, as human beings, we have a knack of wanting to be accepted, acknowledged, and approved. But everything I feel like comes from internally. As you say always, one of your favorite quotes that I see complimented is always, "I'm a reflection of you," and that's a beautiful thing, because life truly is a reflection. I mean, when you smile at someone, 9 times out of 10, they may quickly just smile right back at you. It's like a mirror. So, but in order to smile, you gotta feel good about yourself internally, and that can take a lot of work. It can take years. But knowing that you want to achieve that is the greatest. Whatever the journey is, let the journey be. But it revolves around meditation, revolves around accepting your flaws. It revolves around forgiving yourself for the past or whatever. It revolves around knowing who God is. When you look deeper, the fact that you were created. I mean, you may have asked to be here on a deeper level. Maybe your soul may have requested to be on this earth or whatever. But even if, but what I'm trying to say is, like, you were created for a reason. We all have a purpose. The higher power has bestowed in you on this earth for a reason, and always provides. And if he says that we were made in his image, um, then you should know that anything is possible. And having that confidence in yourself, and knowing that God provides for you and God loves you, and you should love yourself. I think it's a huge engine to keep striving for your dreams, or just loving others. Like, what you put out is what you receive.
Yeah. Thank you. So well said. So well said. What you put out is what you receive, and being honest with yourself. I can't wait to replay this, y'all, and listen to the nuggets y'all are dropping on here. Like, when I go to bed, before I sleep, I replay it and I just listen to everything, and I'm literally taken back. Again, thank you all for family and friends for tuning in. Our supporters, Your Queens, season 2. We teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. My sister said, "You better preach." I know he was preaching. I'm like, what? Shout out to Golden. Shout out to my sister. I'm about to put you on this is my brother Golden, ladies, queens out there preaching the good word right here. That's a good man. But we got a few minutes. We got a few minutes left on here, and we will be back on March 3rd, and we're talking about the Kwanzaa principles. We're not only going to talk about Kwanzaa during Kwanzaa, we're going to talk about Kwanzaa all the time. So March 3rd at 6 p.m. But I'm going to have Mickey, really quick, if everyone could just take 1 minute, I'm going to have you do 2 things real quick. What are some ways you practice self-love? So just if you could short for me, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and give me an affirmation to close this out. One way I practice self-love is I meditate daily, prayer daily. And I say I love you a lot on purpose. That's my way. Mickey, go.
I practice self love by meditating in the morning. So I wake up earlier than I need to, and I just lay in the bed. I talk to God, and that helps me a lot. So that's my input.
Thank you, Queen. Angie.
Hold on, I ain't get her affirmation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, brother. That's important. What's your affirmation? Yeah, for you, Nikki, what's your
Thank you
affirmation?
for that. My affirmation would be I am worth it and I love myself.
Yes, I'm worth it and I love myself. So I'm gonna have go next, and then you tell the next person to go and repeat their affirmation. Go ahead, Queen.
Me? Sorry, baby screaming in the back. Well, I'm sorry. Repeat the question for me. I'm so sorry.
No worries. Quickly, some ways you do self love and
Okay, gotcha.
affirmation.
Okay. Some ways I practice self love is well, I'm a new mom, everybody, so my schedule is crazy. So one thing I do is I always make time to wake up before my baby, and I look at the sunrise. And I take a moment to just have time for myself and reflect on the prior day or reflect on anything that has been bothering me. And I pray about it and I move on to my next task. And my affirmation would be love is unconditional, but love is also sweet.
I love that. Hey, brother Sean, peace and blessings. Who would you like to go next, Ange? Mel said my affirmation every day, and every day I am joyous. Yes, that's my word. Go, girl.
I pass it to Aisha.
So I practice self love by talking to myself. I think that it's nice to hear your own voice that's not like in conversation with someone else because you get to really listen. So I talk to myself. I affirm myself often out loud instead of just in my head. So examples of that is I'll use the one from The Help with Miss Viola Davis. You is smart. You is kind. You is beautiful. And that's also the affirmation that I'm gonna share with you all. You is smart. You is kind. You is beautiful. And I
I
will
love
pass it
that.
to Golden.
A things that I practice for self love. I write a lot. I used to actually write journals, growing up. I don't do that as much, but sometimes when I'm in that zone and I feel like I need to, just grab a notepad and just write exactly what I'm feeling. I meditate. Um, I read the Bible. It's my second time around. I think I'll probably be doing that for the rest of my life. I think it's good to just tap into, the story of who we are and well, the backstory, so to say. What else do I do? Read, just read. Motivational um, videos online is always great. Just to give you a little bit of some energy. I love classical music. I think that's great thinking music. With no lyrics in the background. Sometimes you just and dig classical music, whatever it is, maybe jazz or film scoring music or just some beats. As a hip hop artist, I just play beats in the background and that kind of like inspires me as well. Some affirmations. It's funny. Every morning I try to just like do 7 affirmations, and it all depends on, I guess, what my spirit is telling me I need to hear. So maybe at this moment I would just say I am blessed, I am worthy, I am intelligent, I am I have purpose, I am capable, and I always finish it with I am golden. So yeah, I think that might have been 6. So I'll just say uh, I am unique. So I just the whole I ams. I think that does something, eternally. If you just start your day off with those affirmations, whatever it is to you, it gotta be positive.
Thank you, brother. I think we got Nefertiti to
Uh-oh,
wrap
y'all through
it
with that?
up. Yeah, no, we got you though. We got you. That was great. Thank you so much. I have to run, but I'm gonna have Nefertiti go, and Queen Angie's gonna close you out. Much love, everyone. Self-love. Be great. Be blessed. Be beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
I think Neffy's gonna close it out. I think she froze.
Neffy, you froze? Neffy, you back? You could close. It says
Yes. Okay. Can y'all? All right. Sorry about that, you guys. I was like, no, it's loading. Yes. So self-love, right? What we do for self-love, that's the question, right?
Yes, that's the question.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so what I've been doing more so recently is literally just being aware of what I need in that moment. So whether it's I need more rest in this moment, whether I need to listen to some wind chimes. I like to listen to certain meditation music, just instrumentals. So whether I'm feeling that, whether I'm feeling hungry and I need some water, just literally being attentive to what my body is needing, physically, emotionally, mentally, and honoring that by giving it what it needs in a healthy way. If I need to get my thoughts out, then I will journal too, or if I need to pray about it, so just taking the time to listen, to truly listen to myself on all levels. And an affirmation that I will share with everyone. I did this like about a week ago, and it was really great. If you just go and you look in the mirror, especially for women, maybe, but if you go and you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I accept you just as you are. And like Aisha said, saying it out loud is so helpful, even more so than saying it in your head, because you hear yourself say it, and and I just had to look in the mirror and be like, hey, I love you, I think you're beautiful, and I accept you as you are. And sometimes you have to apologize to yourself, for I know sometimes I'm like, oh man, I could do a little extra working out here and there and stuff like that, and then you don't realize the negative talk subconsciously that you're telling yourself by you're saying that you're not good enough, by saying, oh, if only I do this workout, or if I get here to this goal, and then it'll be, so apologizing to yourself sometimes, like, hey, I'm sorry, I still love you exactly as you are. You've been through a lot. Body, as women, we go through so much on a daily. You've been through a lot, and I appreciate you, and I thank you. And sure, I have goals and this, that, and the third, but I love you as you are. So I accept you and I love you as you are. That's a good affirmation to say to yourself.
Ooh, thank you for that, Neffy. That was powerful. I'm feeling your energy here. All right, guys, we're coming to the closing of our session for today for our second episode on Black Love. Again, this is your Queens. I want to thank the panel today. We have Mickey, we have Nefertiti, we have Aisha, we had Golden, and of course we had Eki, aka Eki Famous. So again, we're your Queens. We teach about royalty from African storytelling, song, and dance. You can follow us on YouTube, which is Your Queens Inc., Facebook, Your Queens Inc., and IG, Your Queens Inc. And tune into our next episode. It's March 3rd. We're talking Kwanzaa principles. So tune in. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Stay blessed. And remember, I am a reflection of you. Thank you, everyone.
That's a queen.
I said the difference between you and I is how probably to be in my eyes. Took the heart for problems before I get involved and try to solve my problems. I got time on my hands, but talking you off a ledge was never part of my plan. I listen to thought that I'm the one far away. Not my problem. Replace the thought with the fact that we're both okay. Consider this. Oh, those romantics that left me, those synapses promises, those energies. And now the word was spoken, and I've been silence unbroken. Always to the same lane, same ocean, but not frank. Like Drake with all his woes. I said the difference between you and I is I'll palpate the BMI. Check the heart for problems before I get involved and try to solve my problems. Cause I got time on my hands, but talking you up the ledge was never part of my plan. And I'm the far away. Not my problem. Replace the thought with the fact that we're both okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for a body with no baggage, a savage. I'm talking about dipping out on the people that don't unpackage their grief. Your presence is their relief. What they need when they weak is some wisdom. Focus on fixing your mantra. What's repeated inside your skull will come back into haunt ya. Or it may come back, motivate and tie ya. Reverberating in the conscience. It echoes. That's why I spit phronesis. The lyrical literature leaving my lips is a thesis. I'm making sure that if you listen and you learning too. Cause every lesson that I've learned is the goopy clue. Release this philosophy. If using my discography means every penny earned and every penny that's got to me. Whether lump sum or residual from royalty is getting bequeathed to all members of my family. The difference between you and I is I'll palpate the BMI. I said the difference between you and I is I'll palpate the BMI. Release my hindsight, it's got astigmatism, but my foresight. It's 1080p, it's HD, it's that LED illuminated. I'm too backlit. Replace my hindsight, it's got astigmatism, but my foresight. It's 1080p, it's HD, it's that LED illuminated. I'm too backlit. The difference between you and I. The difference between you and I.
That's a queen.
Is I palpate the BMI.